3, 2, 1, crescendo.
The autonomous time period, everything's worth a little bit more. Blue Line's quickly delivering 2 of those preloaded notes into the speaker worth 5 points each. 6498, that's Leonardo da Vinci, their robot's name, making use of their short drivetrain to head underneath the stage. A tiny pick up a note, but just shy of that. X in the autonomous period scores 14 to 12, but plenty of time running the match to change that. 7657, that's Leonardo, that's Huskies on Hog, just down the road in the Evansville area. They're picking up a note from their human player station known as the Source. Once all the game pieces on the field of play are exhausted from the start of the match, the only way to get more in are using those human player stations. 8564, that's the Disco Ducks, their robot's name. It's hanging out with us here on the Blue Line side of the field, picking up notes from their source and delivering it to their station. We'll get lots of bumper-on-bumper action throughout today's match as teams had to pick up a game piece and then deliver it diagonally across the field. 74-54, that's Huskies on Hog, demonstrating what it's like to deliver a note into their amp. Both teams agreeing to cooperation. They spent an amp on that, lowering the threshold to 15. That will change next weekend. 95-54, that's the Portage Pythons, a rookie team this year. A very simple design, but it can be great for defense, trying to cause as much havoc on the field to prevent their opponents from scoring. Just over a minute in the match, scores 33-20 in favor of the Blue Lions. Here's how the points work for this year's game. It's 1 point for every note scored in the amp, 2 points for every note scored in the speaker unless it's amplified. It's 5 points if amplified, and you can get to that amplified stage by scoring up 2 notes into the amp. Blue Alliance now demonstrating what that amplified looks like. Each of those notes worth 5 points for their alliance, so we should see the blue score jump here in just a few moments. Red Alliance not to be outdone, sticking in a couple more notes. 6498 Castle Robotics already lining up for that climb. They can do that at almost any point during the match, so a lot of teams will go ahead and get there early. Red Alliance potentially going for a double climb. 20 seconds remaining, we'll hear that guitar riff. And we'll start the human players trying to spotlight the robot. If they're able to successfully land it on one of those posts above the stage, they'll get additional points for their alliance. Time winding down. Blue Alliance trying to fit 2 onto one of those chains. Red Alliance sitting pretty underneath. You can get points for just sitting there in the taped off areas. But that's all for qualification match 40 here at the Washington District, sponsored by Vincennes University in Toyota, Indiana. 48 over Red Alliance's 29. They'll get 3 ranking points, 2 for winning the match and 1 for melody. That's that threshold required. You have to collect enough notes for that. All the Blue Alliance robots rising in the ranks, one of them entering picking positions. Stick tight for qualification match 41.